Hello, Sandman Nation. It is June. The summer is here. The U.S. Open is only a week away. We are less than 100 days from first kick of the football season. Life is fantastic, but it's about to get even better because it is time to enter Sandman Sports. As always, I'm here with two of the best freaking co-hosts ever, the incomparable and amazing Mr. Pat Klatt and the Sandman himself, the legend, Mr. Bill Sanders. Pat and Bill are both a little sad that their T-Wolves couldn't topple the big, bad, and mighty OKC Thunder. The Wolves, as everyone knows, are Pat's hometown team, and Bill wants anyone to take out the Thunder for breaking his Sonic heart years ago, but it just wasn't meant to be. The Thunder advance and most likely will become the 2025 NBA champions. But the good news, guys, is there's always next year. Although that's probably what Sonic fans said in 2008. So there is that. Too soon, Bill? Too soon?
Always too soon, yes.
All right.
Go
well,
Pacers!
Then let's just go Pacers. Go Pacers. I'm sure we will talk about that as we get deeper into this show. But before we get things started, let's tell everyone where our listeners can find us. You can find us everywhere this summer except the gym. You don't get bodies like ours by wasting time sculpting muscles and building cardiovascular health. Nah, we'll be right here in front of the mic or behind the computer screen, furiously typing away, all in the spirit of delivering awesome freaking content for CMA Nation. Our doctors can scold us later, but you will never want to scold us at CMA Sports because we continue to grow and pump out awesome stuff. Be sure to check us out at entercmansports.com. Visit us daily. We are dropping new content all the time. Just this week alone, we added coverage on the NBA, Major League Baseball, NFL, where we look and grade each division by free agency and look at teams that could surprise in the coming season. We got Beerman's Six Packs, Sandman's Golf Crushing Fades, these podcasts, college baseball. We have an article on how to bet the tennis Grand Slams coming soon, and our first ever article on the WNBA as we added a new writer who will be solely focused on women's sports. So that's pretty freaking cool. And we just published our most recent article on the Fringe. This one is a fun one because it looks at the all-time strange position team in Major League Baseball. Give it a read and you'll see what I mean. Please be sure to also follow us on social media too. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all at Enter Sandman Sports. All right, boys. Well, guess what? This is episode number 42. And occasionally we will use the episode number to talk about great players with that same uniform number. Well, there is no greater or more impactful player in the history of sports than Jackie Robinson, who wore number 42. And that number is now officially retired by all Major League Baseball teams. So I thought we would start today I'm going to just share a few facts about Mr. Robinson and pay this awesome man a tribute for all of his incredible accomplishments. So let's start with that, and then we'll get into a little deeper dive. So Jackie was not just a great baseball player. He was a groundbreaker, a symbol, and truly a walking line in the sand between the old world and a better one. It all started back on tax day, April 15th, 1947, when he put on a Brooklyn Dodgers uniform and became the first black player to break Major League Baseball's color barrier. Before Robinson, black players were banned from the majors, relegated to the Negro Leagues, no matter how talented they were. Jackie was chosen not only for skill, but because he had the strength to endure constant racial abuse without fighting back. He was heckled by fans, taunted by opponents, and even had teammates threaten to sit out rather than play alongside him. He had to be mentally tougher than anyone in the game, and he was. Before baseball, and we've actually talked about this before on the pod, Robinson was a four-sport star at UCLA, football, basketball, track, and of course baseball. He also served in the Army during World War II. He was court-martialed for refusing to move to the back of a segregated bus. He was ultimately acquitted and discharged with honor. In the majors, he won Rookie of the Year in 1947, MVP in 49, played in 6 All-Star games, led the Dodgers to 6 World Series appearances, appearances and won it all in 1955. He hit .311 for his career, had more walks and strikeouts, stole home plate 19 times. He stole home plate 19 times, a number that still ranks near the top in Major League Baseball history. Off the field, he became the first black vice president of a major American corporation, helped found a black-owned bank in Harlem, and was a force in the civil rights movement. He was also the first black television analyst in baseball, and he used his platform to fight for change. Robinson sadly died of a heart attack in 1972 at just 53 years old after years of declining health caused by diabetes. His final public appearance came just 9 days before his death when he threw out the ceremonial first pitch at the World Series. His number 42, as I mentioned, is now retired by every Major League team, and on Jackie Robinson Day each year, every player in baseball wears his number, a tradition that started back in 2004. It is the only number in sports that gets that kind of honor. So before we get into the rest of the show, we just wanted to take a moment to honor the man who changed more than just a game. So here's to Jackie Robinson, number 42. Forever. Guys, have you ever seen the movie 42, by the way?
Yeah. Great.
Have you?
Yeah.
I've seen bits and pieces. I've never watched the whole thing from beginning to end, but I need to. As I was researching prepping for this, I've never heard a bad thing about that movie. Is it good?
Really good. Yeah, I
Okay.
teared up. I remember being emotional during it. It was really well done, and the actor that portrayed Jackie was really good in the movie as well.
Why don't you cry
Can't think of
about
his
it,
name.
Bill?
What's that?
Baby.
Yeah.
Then why don't you cry
I know.
about
Well,
it, baby?
I don't get too emotional in movies typically. I remember Schindler's List being the first movie I ever cried in, and then that one kind of caught me off guard. But it was
and then The Notebook.
with the Notebook gets me every time.
Every time. Waterworks.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
All right. Well, I also want to take a moment to recognize another absolute legend that I think is often forgotten when we talk about Jackie, and that is a gentleman named Larry Doby. He just doesn't get talked about enough, but he broke the color barrier in the American League just a few months after Jackie Robinson did in the NL. Doby was the first black player in AL history. He debuted with the Cleveland Indians in July of '47. Just like Jackie had to endure brutal racism, teammates who wouldn't shake his hand, cities that refused to let him stay in the team hotel. He pushed it all. I didn't realize this. He became a 7-time All-Star. He led the league in home runs and RBIs and helped the Indians win the 1948 World Series, which, by the way, is their most recent championship to date for baseball. He later became the second black manager in Major League Baseball history, was inducted in the Hall of Fame in 1998, and served in the U.S. Navy during World War II. He was a true pioneer, quiet force who made history. And like he once said, quote, Jackie was first, but the crap I took was just as bad. So do want to make sure we honor him today as well, a giant in every sense of the word. Before we wrap up the opening, the guys, I do want to bring up one more thing. And let me say right up front, this next part is not meant to compare anyone at all to Jackie Robinson or Larry Doby. What they accomplished, what they endured, and the impact they made is on a completely different level. But in prepping for this episode, it got me thinking about other sports pioneers, people who may not have broken racial barriers, but who still transformed their sport in a major way. Not just great players, but people who changed the way the game was played, coached, watched, or just understood by the fan. This could be athletes, coaches, general managers, owners, announcers, anyone who truly shifted the landscape in a lasting way. So would love to just hear your guys' thoughts on people that came to mind. I thought this was kind of fun when I was thinking about it. Some names came up that I hadn't thought of in a while that really made a big impact on their particular sport. So Pat, would love to start with you. When you think of sports pioneers or game changers, who comes to mind?
This is a tough one. And to follow Jackie Robinson, you said it well, Eric. The guy was the GOAT. And how difficult would that be to keep your cool? I mean, I'm driving down the road, someone cuts me off, and I'm middle fingers and ready to throw down. I mean, it's got to be just amazing how to keep that together. I would have lost my mind. That would have been, but yeah, this is a tough question for me. I can't really think of many. I have three that and they're a stretch. it's a stretch. But first, the Fosbury flop. That one, Dick Fosbury.
That's a great one. I didn't even think of that.
They used to do They used to do the what is it? The high jump, and everyone would jump over it feet forward, and then this guy went over the with his back.
Yeah, brilliant.
Head, I guess whatever with his the Fosbury flop that we know today. So that would be one. The other one, okay, so I thought of a guy who plays tennis now, Novak Djokovic. Now, he's not necessarily transforming the game. And this is a stretch, but his diet, flexibility, and fitness are unbelievable. And his longevity at the highest of level is like no other. So all of the young kids coming up today know that they have to do the extra things. This guy stretches 4 times a day.
That's interesting.
He doesn't eat gluten. Yeah. He's super flexible. He's super fit. He does all the extra little things, whereas back, think even in the 80s, guys would probably smoke. I mean, Andre Agassi was doing meth.
Yeah, exactly. They were doing more.
Think of how athletes have changed in all sports over the last 30 years, but in tennis specifically, he is setting the bar really high.
Go back and look at old pictures of first basemen in the 70s and 80s, dude. Look at Greg Luzinski.
Awesome. Greg.
Yeah, so I think he is definitely starting to take the game to the next level as far as fitness. And then my last one, I thought Bryson, because kind of in a similar way, the way they're having to talk about, lengthening tee boxes and dialing back the equipment or use a different ball so these guys can't pound it 370 yards every drive. And,
that's a great one.
So those were kind of my thoughts, but I really couldn't think of any others. I mean, you guys are too nice to me. They weren't great. They were okay, but
those are really good. I can't believe I didn't think of Bryson. Well, so quick question.
And Rory, you could throw Rory in there too, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, all the guys now. I think your point about Djokovic is such a good one, because I don't know who the first player was. Probably really hard to pin down, but that fitness, working out, all of those types of things really was at the forefront. I would think Tiger maybe in golf, right? He kind of.
I had Tiger on my list. I mean, he changed the game, not just the way it was played and Tiger proofing holes and all that, but I mean, popularity golf spiked immensely just because of his personality.
Some of these guys, a lot of these guys,
eyeballs on the. Go ahead.
A lot of these guys in the 80s, they'd work out, but it'd be they'd go do a bench press 20 times or jog around the block. Now their workouts are so sport specific. You got the sport science where it's just, all right, you need to work these muscle groups. You need to do this. You need to do that. Instead of just, I went to the gym and I did some curls,
lifted some weights. Yeah.
And that was it.
I just real quick on the tennis one before I dive. I have 2 and mine will go pretty quick, I think. But if you took Pete Sampras is the first one that came to mind as a player that was, arguably one of the greats. How bad would Djokovic beat Pete Sampras? Or would he? Would that be a
different era,
Yeah,
Pete was a lot of serve and volley. Pete was a lot of serve and volley, big serve. I mean, if any of the big servers, if their serve's on, they can
dominate,
almost untouchable. Yeah, but
yeah,
Djokovic,
maybe it's impossible. Yeah. I love those debates though. When you talk about just how, I mean, to me, in hoops, there's no comparison. In football, there's no comparison. I mean, you've got guys that were, Eric mentioned Dick Butkus, I think a couple pods ago. Maybe it was, I can't remember which
last
one.
Last pod.
Yeah, last pod.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be smaller than a safety.
I'm going to mention Dick Butkus later. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Good segue. So anyway, okay. Enough about that. I just love those types of debates. So just real quick, I did my senior thesis at University of Washington on Jackie Robinson. And so this is hits close to home, fascinating human being. Eric did a great job of recapping his impact and just what an amazing human is. My thesis was actually on Jim Crow laws, World War II, because I was a military historian. That was the emphasis in my major. And then Jackie Robinson and how he changed the dynamics in culture in the United States through breaking the color barrier in baseball. It really actually turned out to be a fascinating project. And and just what an amazing human. So great job, Eric, calling him out there. In the same vein, the first guy that popped into my brain to answer Eric's question was Doug Williams. Doug Williams was the starting quarterback
First
for the
black
Tampa Bay
quarterback for the
Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay Bucks, yeah.
Was it?
That's a
Redskins
great
though,
one.
too?
He did the Super Bowl for the Redskins.
Super Bowl
Yeah.
with
But
the Redskins.
he was the
but he was
starting
with Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He started,
Gotcha.
but yeah.
And he was the first black quarterback to start and win in the Super Bowl. And can you guys guess the year?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I know Timmy
Close.
Smith ran for
88.
204 yards.
91.
It would have been 88, I think.
Yeah. God, you guys are
Yeah.
so I would never be able to guess. You guys are so good at nailing the years down. It was 88, and that just blew me away. It was 1988 before we had a black starting quarterback win in the Super Bowl. In 1979, I saw that was the first time two black quarterbacks started the game against each other. Doug Williams was one of them. The other guy I didn't recognize. Yeah, in 1979.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy to me. He
That's
was really
a good one, Bill.
And so the other thing too, there's numerous facts about that were crazy, but props to Joe Gibbs, who was his offensive coordinator in Tampa Bay, and then went to Washington. I had forgot this, but Doug Williams actually sat out because the Tampa Bay general manager wouldn't pay him what he thought he deserved. So he actually sat out a year, then went to the USFL. That folded, and then Joe Gibbs had the head coaching job at Washington, called Doug Williams and said, "Come play for us." And anyway, that he was a groundbreaker, definitely in the National Football League. So that was the first one for me. The second one, you guys aren't going to believe who my second one is. I'm going to give Chip Kelly props. Chip Kelly, as much as it pains me because of his success at Oregon, he really revolutionized the game of football in a way that I don't know if many other guys have. When it comes to tempo, spread, hurry up, the way plays were signaled in, the way that, because you think of those boards that they hold up, and just the way that they could call multiple plays in succession, keep a defense on the field, wear them down. Then you had guys faking injuries so that they could stop the tempo, honestly making rule changes to try to rein it in a little bit. He went to Oregon in 2007 after coaching at New Hampshire for a number of years. New Hampshire led the country in yards and points and all that. Then he goes to Oregon. Unfortunately, wins when Mike Bellotti retires. He gets the head coaching job, wins 3 straight Pac-10 titles. I just thought, I got to give this guy his due. He did not have the same level of success in the NFL, but coaches from around the country called Chip Kelly. I know Pete Carroll was one, and others, to have him come and just give them his sort of ideas of how to run an offense. So I'm going to give Chip Kelly some flowers, as much as it pains me.
All right.
I like that
those
one.
are my
That's
two.
a good one.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Maybe next episode you'll give some love to David Stern.
No, never will. Him and Howard Schultz, they're both dead.
Yeah. So I have a few. I'll run through these quickly, but it's funny you mentioned doing your college thesis on Jackie Robinson. I didn't do a thesis, but I did write a paper about this guy, so I know a lot about him. But most people have never even heard this name. I'm going to start with a guy named Curt Flood. And he played in Major League Baseball in the early 70s, 60s and 70s. He challenged what was at the time called the reserve clause, which was not advantageous to players. I won't get into all the details, but it just wasn't a good thing for the players. And he challenged it. It ostracized him from the game, costing him prime years of his career. But it paved the way for free agency and basically created the modern era of players making a lot of money. So many athletes, not just baseball players, owe Curt Flood a debt of gratitude. Howard Cosell, the guy was just so different in the broadcasting world, where many before him were strictly objective. He was opinionated, intellectual, sometimes confrontational. He gave athletes a voice. He changed the way, obviously his relationship with Muhammad Ali, his presence on Monday Night Football. He just changed the way the game was announced. Michael Jordan,
it's a classic confrontation.
That makes me think of Better Off Dead.
That was good.
Yeah, that's right. They learned English from watching Howard Cosell. A classic compensation. One Lane Maya.
Yeah, good.
For me, Michael Jordan, and it's so much beyond the court. I mean, he turned the NBA into a global brand. The movie Air, if you've seen that, great movie, but it's about just the Nike brand and the Air Jordan, and basically athletes making a lot of money off of that type of thing, which now you see all the time off the court. So, around that same time, David Stern. I mean, he really was instrumental with Magic and Jordan and Bird and all those, really knew how to market those stars. The NBA was nowhere before the 1980s. Stern came in and changed it, and now it's a global sensation. We've talked about Caitlin Clark, not going to go into her. Billie Jean King, though, great tennis player. She fought for women's lib, fought for equal pay, founded the Women's Tennis Association, beat Bobby Riggs in the famous Battle of the Sexes, although I will say I cannot stand that movie. I did not think they did a good job with the movie. But a movie they did do a great job on, also based on a real person, is Moneyball. Billy Bean, the whole approach there changed the way we look at baseball owners look at baseball, general managers, I guess I should say. And then last one, to me, this guy has changed the NFL more than anybody at all. And that is Bill Walsh, who invented the West Coast offense. And believe it or not, he actually was the offensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals when he started it. Then he moved down to San Francisco, and that's when it got super popularized. But before him, it was run, very few passing. And when they did pass, it was deep. He basically combined the running and passing, or combine the passing and running into short passes and change the game forever. So I think the NFL has never been the same since him.
Yeah, good ones.
All right, guys. Well, that was a nice reminder of how impactful Jackie and Larry Doby were, as well as a tip of the cap to others who transformed their sports in different but still profound ways. So let's get into the show now, though. We're going to start with Be My Guest in just a moment. Then it's on to hot takes. Then we'll get into our stone cold locks for this week's RBC Canadian Open. And finally, we will wrap up today with a movie-themed top 5. And guys, you're going to get to hear some rants from me today in the top 5. They got me all fired up. Of course, we will also have plenty of fun and shenanigans along the way, including Pat shaving his head on air because, frankly, the peer pressure has finally gotten to him. And he realizes how damn good Bill and I look.
That's right. All the sexy.
Stay tuned for that seminal moment in our podcast. All right, boys. Well, it is time to get into mine and yours favorite guessing game. Yep, it is time for Be My Guest. This is the game where you guys try to guess some sort of sports list and are usually very, very wrong.
Hey,
today we are going back to baseball. You guys have actually been pretty good.
We did
you
pretty
guys
well.
have actually been pretty good. Yeah. We're going to go back to baseball, which started this game 5 weeks ago. It was our first category here. Today we're going to keep it pretty straightforward, but I think this is still going to be actually pretty challenging. What I want, guys, is I want the top 10 franchises all time in World Series appearances. Not titles, but appearances.
I can tell you also, who isn't there.
All time?
We are upping. We're all time. All time. And guys, before we get into it, though.
Long ago.
No, guys, we're upping the stakes, too. You don't even know this. Up to this point, it's all been fun and games. And you've had 4 practice weeks, but I've decided it's time to give the winner a prize now. So this next session is going to last 6 weeks. Okay, so we have 6 weeks. It's not one session, but and there's going to be points associated here, which I'll explain in just a minute. But the loser has to wear clothing from their dreaded rival for 1 pod episode. So either the Ducks for Bill or the Packers for Pat. And it's up to you to get that clothing then. That you're gonna have to buy something or borrow it. That's the problem. That's why you don't want to lose this bet.
I'm out.
That's out.
So don't lose this freaking bet.
I'm gonna be.
You got Packers fans, dude. You got Packers fans.
I don't know any in Wisconsin.
Hey, well then you better be sucking up to the listeners. Maybe somebody will mail you a Packers sweatshirt, or just don't fucking lose. Okay?
I feel like
I'm out. Oh yeah.
Look, you can't make me do anything, Eric. What are you going to do?
So here is how it will work. You get 2 points if you get a top 5. You get 1 point if you get a 6 through 10, and you get -1 point for every guess that is wrong.
Oh, jeez.
Oh boy!
Yeah.
All right, this is man. This feels like pressure now. I thought this was just
it should be.
easy,
No, this isn't just
no prep.
No, we're putting some stakes on this one. All right. So, all right. So because this is actually we can't just we gotta like be scientific here. So Pat, I have written down a number, odd or even. All right. You tell me odd or even.
Odd.
It is odd. That is a 3. All right. All right. So, do you want to go first or second?
I want to go first.
Okay, that's a good question. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
It's my good start. We're off to a good start. Oh
So,
my gosh.
all right, who do you got? Top 10 World Series appearances.
The New York Yankees.
Yeah, that's pretty good. They're number 1 with 41 appearances. They have 27 championships. All right, so Pat, you got 2 points. There you go.
Dodgers.
Perfect.
Dodgers number 2. Oh God, you guys are.
They
have
we're good at
26.
this. We're good at this.
26 appearances.
The Brooklyn Dodgers or the
franchise.
Okay.
26 appearances and 8. They've won it 8 times, so they're number 2 in appearances. They're not number 2 in wins. But.
Okay. Felt like a clue.
I am gonna go. Try
like
the
the
Atlanta
top 5
Braves.
Nice
The Atlanta
job.
Braves.
Atlanta Braves number 5. They have 18, and they've won it 4 times. So they've appeared 18. They've only won it 4, but you got a 2-pointer there, so that's good.
Nice.
Wow. I would have guessed they were way down there. I mean, lower than that, but okay. Giants.
I know.
Thank you.
Giants are tied for 3 with 23 appearances, and they've won 8. Look at God. You know what? I'm gonna have to change that opening. You guys are not usually very, very wrong. You guys are good here.
I think I know the next one. The Cardinals.
Finally.
Yeah,
Cardinals. Look at that. See, going first was big because
I should have said that one. That was the one I probably should have guessed last time.
All right. So yeah, Cardinals tied for 3rd with 23. They've won it 11 times, so they've won the second most.
Well, that's the second most wins. Okay.
Yeah, it's 11.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to stall. I'm serious. We've said 1, 2, 3, tied for 3.
You said Yankees. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 because number 3 is
it's kind of between
Yankees,
2.
Dodgers, Cardinals, Giants, and Braves.
There's 2 in my mind. I'm all right. I don't know. I'm going Boston Red Sox.
They're 8th, and they actually have the 3rd most titles all time at 9, but they have 14 appearances and they're 8th all time.
Okay,
so good job.
All right.
I'm going with the franchise that's been around a while, the Cleveland Indians.
He's a fucking idiot.
They are not on this list.
Shut up. Shut your face.
They are not. They are not on the list.
All right. Does Pat go again or do I go?
No, you go.
Just keep going negative here.
I would say I thought Pat was going to guess this when he said been around the longest time. I'm going to go with the A's.
Yes,
in the back with the jack.
Are 7th. They have 15 appearances. They have 9 wins, which is tied with the Red Sox for the 3rd most.
Okay.
After the Yankees and Cardinals.
All
so
right.
the A's, so good job.
Oh,
wow,
man.
so Bill just took the lead now. He's 6-5, but there's still plenty of losses, plenty of misses you can
How many
get
are we
here.
guessing? I think
Philly? The Phillies?
The
Phillies?
Please try again.
Oh.
No, not the Phillies. Not the Phillies.
Eric, stupid.
Hey, just like nailed it. This is a long thing. You got 6 weeks, dude. It's all good.
Damn it.
Oh, okay. But I don't even want to give Pat a hint. All right. I hate this, but Cubs?
Nice job.
Cubs are 6th. 17 appearances that they've only won 3 times.
Yes. That was a risky one because you knew how long that curse was.
I thought about them.
before
I
that-
thought about them. Yeah. I just because of the drought and the curse, I was like, maybe they weren't.
Oh, I thought I was going to miss that one. All right.
All right, so you got the first 8. There's 2 left.
2 left. What? I say we end it. Pat, you want to end the torture?
Texas Rangers.
No.
See, I thought I was going to say that
No.
Bierman would have never picked this category if not for the Reds being in this list, right? So
I mean, that's not
Probably
true.
is.
but the Reds aren't in the West. I'm assuming that was a guess. I'm assuming
It's
that was a guess.
dumb.
Yeah, they're 10th, and they have 10 appearances, and they've won 5.
That's a good percentage too. All right,
Yeah.
I was trying to
Which
choose
I
between them
almost-
and
I
my last guess.
almost changed this to winning percentage. Times you've been in the World Series versus times you've won with a minimum of 5. I almost changed it to that, but I did.
It's got to still be Yankees, right? I mean, they've been
Yankees
so many.
Yeah, because they've been in 41. They've won 27. But,
yeah. Wow. Okay. All right.
but
So
the
are we
Dodgers
missing one
wouldn't have
still?
been. We're missing one.
All right.
Oh my gosh! All right,
Give me the
old franchises, Pat. Old franchises.
Houston
No.
Astros.
No.
Shit. Dumbest game ever, Eric.
You said Phillies, right? You guessed Phillies.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah, you
Phillies.
guessed Phillies. I'm just honestly, I've been thinking about old ballparks, and I'm gonna say Tigers.
Dude, Bill's good at this game.
Oh yeah,
Bill is good. Dude,
Walk
Bill
off.
did not miss. Bill did not miss. Bill has
Walk off.
6,
Tigers.
7, 8, 9. Bill has 9 points, and Pat has 2.
I can't believe it. I
So,
really thought I was gonna
hey,
miss with a couple of those.
You know, Mike Paston is always good at sending stuff. He mailed me a wonderful book on Barbara Streisand. Thanks, buddy. That was great kindling. But so, you know, maybe if we suck up to Mike, he'll get on the horn and find some friends that have some Packers gear and can get you taken care of. Pat.
Oh wow.
9 to 2.
Woo.
And you got your first 3 right.
First,
Thanks.
and
Thanks,
Pat,
Eric.
yeah, go.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that Pat wants me to move on. Okay, this part's just for
I
fun,
love
though.
this game. I love this game.
5 worst, 5 least. We know
M's.
the Mariners. We talked about the Mariners. They've never won. There's 4 others, though, that have only appeared once. 2 of them won it, and 2 of them didn't.
That's so gross.
Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks.
Rays.
They won.
No, Diamondbacks have actually appeared twice.
Ah,
They are not in
shit.
it.
Yeah,
Who'd you say, Bill?
Rays.
The Rays.
No, the Rays have appeared at least twice. Well, they've appeared twice, I know. Like, yeah.
Marlins? Or have they won a couple? They tore it
Marlins.
down
Well,
and then
they've
like
been in at
bought
least
it.
twice because
Yeah,
they've been in
yeah.
more. They actually used to be decent.
Angels?
The Angels. So the Angels are one of the 2 that were in it once and won it. They won it back in like the early 2000s. They had a good team. I forget Salmon, I think was
The Rally
on that
Monkey.
team.
That's when they had the Rally Monkey.
Yeah.
They
I
beat
think
the
they
Twins.
beat the Giants.
They beat
I think
the-
they beat Bonds.
I
I
hated
think
that.
they
beat
beat
the
Bonds and the
Twins.
Giants that year.
They beat the Twins
All
to
right.
get there, I think.
That fucking rally monkey. I hated that thing.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you know how many times we had to see
Yeah,
that thing
that was
every
dumb.
year? Oh,
That was
God.
yeah.
Worst.
All right. Any other good guesses? If not, I'm gonna just tell you.
Montreal Expos.
Oh, Rockies.
The Rockies are 0 for 1. So there's one team
They were
left
in the
that's
World
0 for
Series?
1,
I
and
don't
there's
remember
one
that.
team left that's 1 for 1. Yeah.
I didn't remember them making it. Are the Mariners the only team to not make a World Series?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. That's yeah.
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 that hurts.
All right. I'll give you
Misery.
a player to play it on this team. Well, actually I'll give you a little harder player.
Oh, Rangers.
Cecil Cooper. Cecil
The
Cooper.
Brewers.
Does that name ring
The
a bell?
Milwaukee Brewers.
Brewers.
The Brewers.
Milwaukee Brewers. There you go. And then this team is relatively new. They've been in the last 20 years. They suck.
What?
I
new
can't believe they
teams are-
won one, actually. I can't believe this team has won.
What new teams have been?
They're on the East Coast.
What? Pat.
Things get very political in their clubhouse.
Oh, the Washington Nationals.
Oh
The
gosh,
Nats.
no, good hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
okay.
you never think of the
No,
Nationals, right?
no.
Like you just
No.
yeah. So
Strasburg.
all right, guys.
and-
Well,
yeah.
Pat may not show up next week. We'll see, but listeners, stay tuned.
I'm out.
Tough.
There's a lot of drama building because of Be My Guest.
I'm guessing
All
Pat
right,
could
guys.
walk outside and within a half-mile radius probably run into a ton of Packer fans.
Yeah, I think you're good, dude. You're gonna look good in that. Yeah,
And I gotta
actually, all you gotta
I
do is just
never
wear a
agreed.
cheesehead. Wear a cheesehead foam hat, dude. That'll work.
I
Do
never
you
agree.
do that?
No.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right.
You
All right.
can't
Well, guys,
make me do it.
You know what, Pat? I've had enough of your freaking.
Is this like a
whining, dude.
fraternity? Is this like hazing? This is why I
Yes.
wasn't in a fraternity.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
let people tell me what to do. All right? Okay.
Yeah, just drink. You'll be fine. That's what you do after.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it is time for hot takes. That's right. Sandman Sports Hot Takes, brought to you by Mike's Hot Honey. The honey's so hot, we are going to start selling its bathwater. Did you guys hear about that, guys? Did you hear about Sydney Sweeney is making and selling soap that has specs of the bathwater she used in a provocative ad that she made earlier this year? Just ridiculous. And by ridiculous, I mean it's ridiculous that I was limited to buying only 4 bars. But there is no limit to the number of bottles of Mike's Hot Honey that you can buy. So go to mikeshothoney.com and order some right now, or go to the honey aisle at your local grocery store and enjoy, but please don't bathe with it. All right, Pat, start us off, sir. Please first start by telling the listeners how much you love the new rule change to be my guest.
It's stupid. And Sydney,
Hot take
Sydney
number 1.
Sweeney. Here's another hot take. My wife and I are watching White Lotus, and Sydney Sweeney is in season 1, and I still don't get it, Bierman. I just don't get the allure. I don't know.
She wasn't.
It's not,
she wasn't.
Not for me.
That was
It's not
not
for me.
like a sexy role that she played in
Yeah,
that.
but even so, it's not for me.
Go watch the movie called The Voyeurs, and you will change.
Again. Wait, you can't tell me what to do. All right, so
I'm just guessing that might not be one your wife wants to be watching with you, but I don't know. Based on title,
you'll never know till you try.
Yep. Look, guys, my hot takes. I can't even get into the second inning of a baseball game because I've been working so much. I just fall asleep on the couch now. So I tried to watch the Yankees Dodgers the other day, and then I tried to watch the Dodgers Mets last night, and I don't know. I just get so sleepy. So this is kind of the time where, once hockey and basketball are done, it's just kind of a quieter stretch. There's some baseball games, and there's the PGA, a little bit of major golf championships, but this is just kind of the time to just, rest and relax before football season when we go after it and we go hard. So I'm kind of in my sports rest period. Let's just put it that way. So I don't have a lot of hot takes. I didn't get to watch a lot of sports because I just kept falling asleep. So
the M's. Did you watch any of the M's Twins series? There was a 4-game set.
Tiny bit at my brother's house, the one that went into extra innings. I think you guys won. I watched like 2 innings of that.
Close series.
Yeah. Actually, I just can't stay awake right now. So maybe later in the
we may not
summer.
even make it through the end of this pod with him.
I still don't know how you guys do it in Central and Eastern time zones. I mean, the games are starting so late for you.
Well, I mean,
if you're on the West Coast, I mean, how? What?
It
sucks.
So when it's not my painting season, I'll stay up till like 1 a.m. But when I'm getting up at 5 a.m., I'm asleep by 10.
Yeah. So I hear you. Well, I can step in if you want me to, Pat.
Yeah, I'd love for you to just step in. I got nothing.
I think I sent this to you guys, but Scotty Scheffler has the same number of wins since the beginning of May as the Colorado Rockies. Now, that's changed because the Rockies have won a couple in a row. But it was 3 wins for Scotty, 3 wins for Colorado.
From May 2nd through the end of May, though, it was.
Yeah.
It was,
And I mean, just let that sink in. I mean, that is bonkers. That is bonkers. Scotty, I know you guys have said this. He's Eric Bierman's new Pat Mahomes. Like, he's so popular. He's so successful. All he does is win. You almost just hate the guy because he's just everywhere. Well, you just got to get used to it because Scotty, I think he might win the Grand Slam, finish the Grand Slam this year. I just don't. Who's going to beat this guy? He hit every clutch putt down the stretch. He hit every single shot he needed to hit. He plays the smartest game. He's the best iron player in the game. He's figured out his putter. The dude's just sick. And so I won't say anymore because I know Bierman's ready to kill Scotty, but so impressive.
Scotty, I was saying that a little tongue in cheek about the Mahomes thing. He doesn't.
I mean, he's a
know
great
how I feel
human,
about Mahomes.
which
No, he's a good. Yeah,
yeah.
I have no issue with it, but I mean, he's getting a little oversaturated.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Well,
and
I agree. I just don't know how you get away from it. It's a little bit like Tiger. And I have buddies
I don't think
who,
he's gonna win. I don't think he's gonna win the next two majors. Dude.
Yeah. I don't know.
We'll see.
How cool would
Rio
it be though?
Hisatsune?
Yeah.
A little someone named Rio.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's been hot. I just think that if Scotty can figure out a way to win the US Open, how electric is the Open Championship going to be? Because everyone, I mean, oh my gosh, what are his odds going to be in that thing? Anyway, and I can't even tell you guys how pumped I am for Oakmont. I just read an article that Adam Scott and Rory went and played a practice round together, and the course just absolutely chewed them alive. In a practice round, it's not even full rough length and all that. I mean, nothing makes me happier as a golf fan than a champion of a tournament winning at or near par. It's just so great. So, all right, enough about Scotty. The second one's a little bit more of a homer thing. I think I might have sent this to you guys as well in text, but how about Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh? The guy leads the major leagues in home runs. He's a catcher. It's the first time in Major League Baseball history that a catcher has over 20 home runs before the end of May. In history. We're talking about,
oh my God,
Pudge, Fisk, Carter, Mauer, Piazza, Posada, Johnny Bench. I mean, you name it. No catcher has ever done this. And meanwhile, he's a switch hitter. So he's got a chance to top, I believe, Joe DiMaggio, maybe, or is it DiMaggio or Mickey Mantle? One of those guys, I think, is the leading switch hitter in terms of home runs with 54. Cal's got a great chance to beat it. He's actually on pace to go for over 60 home runs. Anyway, cool thing for the Mariners fans out here. They just signed him to a super friendly club contract as well. So he's going to be a Mariner for a long, long time. The guy he's a great kid. He's a great leader in the clubhouse. He's got a great nickname, Big Dumper. I mean, because he's got such a big ass. The guy just is a great baseball player, and he's on fire. So it's super cool. And that's it for my hot takes. Go Cal.
Big
dumper. Wow.
Big dumper.
I did not know that. That's an impressive start to the season for sure.
Yeah. Cal, but one thing I forgot. Sorry, Bierman, to cut you off. Yeah. I do this all the time. Salvador Perez is the current leader single season home runs for a catcher with 48. I mean, that if Cal stays healthy, that is going to get destroyed. So that's going to be, it's pretty cool. I mean, these are like major league.
And in the heat of summer, the ball flies further in the heat of summer too,
Yeah, especially at T-Mobile in Seattle. Yeah. It'll fly farther. So, all right. Bierman, how about you, buddy?
All right. Well, my first hot take is about my most recent trip to Chicago with my family this past weekend. I wrote about this in my six pack, but just want to briefly reiterate that we had a great time. Chicago is one of my all-time favorite cities, probably my favorite big city in the U.S. And if you go to a Cubs game for a weekend and you want to stay at a great hotel, definitely stay at the Hotel Zachary. It's literally right across the street from Wrigley. Million bars, restaurants nearby. The hotel itself has an awesome bar, patio, balcony, just overall great vibe. So totally worth it for the weekend. Me, family, we had a great time. But what I want my hot take to be about is the astonishment I felt as I learned something about the age of ballparks overall, guys. So most people know Fenway is the oldest. It opened in 1912, actually the same day the Titanic sunk. Wrigley opened 2 years later in 1914. The third oldest stadium in the U.S. is Dodger Stadium, which opened in 1962. Wow. Then it's Anaheim Stadium, where the Angels play. That opened later in the 60s. Kauffman Stadium is the fifth oldest, and that was opened after I was born. I was born in 1972. That opened in 1973. The sixth oldest, guys, is Toronto's Rogers Center. Used to be the Sky Dome, which opened in 1989. That is the sixth oldest stadium. The seventh is White Sox Rate Field in 1991. And the eighth oldest stadium in Major League Baseball is Camden Yards, which opened in 1992. And real quick on the Skydome, I gotta ask, do you guys remember when a couple was caught having sex in the hotel in the Skydome, like on the Jumbotron or whatever? That was like right after it opened, and I just remember like Sports Center like had to like put little black blocks around their bodies when they were showing it. Oh my god! But anyway, only 2 existing stadiums were built before 1962, and 22 have been built in the past 30 years. That just makes me sad. I love all the new amenities, but I also love the tradition and history too. You talked about old stadiums, Bill. I grew up going to Old Tiger Stadium, and despite big blue posts blocking most of your views, I just freaking loved walking into that old place. And I will say Wrigley irritated me a little because of how cramped it was, and there was a ton of people. It was really hard to just walk through the concourses. Not a ton of sunlight, actually. When you're out, everyone sees like the outfield, the bleachers, and it's sunny there. But inside, you're covered. Most of it's almost all covered, which is great if it's raining. But it was chilly in there because the sun wasn't getting in. So, but I love to know that the park is 111 years old. I loved the old scoreboard with the handmade changes. I loved the ivy on the walls. I want more of that. Baseball's lost something by chasing the shiny new stadiums. The history, the soul, the weird quirks. We've traded it in for beer gardens and LED ribbon boards, and I think we've made the wrong decision there.
But no, I disagree, because then we'd still be playing in the Metrodome, and that was terrible. The garbage bag.
Well, then build a nice park
wall
that is better than the Metrodome and keep it for 100 years.
But keep it, keep it now for 100 years. But the Metrodome was
That's
garbage.
the problem. No, it's a good point. Yeah. That is a good point, because the Metrodome was awful. There was a lot of stadiums that weren't great, but that's the issue. I want more of that. I want more of the old ballparks. I just hate that when we do build a new one, then we tear it down 2 decades later and build another one. And that, to me, come on. We should do that.
No, it's
just renovate. They should just renovate.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the newer ballparks, they've tried to bring back the old time feel, like Rockies Park. I've never been to Coors Field, if it's still called that. But Mariners, Camden Yards, like a lot of those are kind of built in that old time vibe, right?
Absolutely.
I think Pittsburgh is that way. I've heard. I've never been.
Yeah,
but
no, they are, and they're great. And it's not so much. It's just let's keep it for a long time. Let's get some history in there. So 80 years from now, people are walking in and they're like, God,
80 years
Can
old.
you believe how many great games
Cal Raleigh used to play here.
Cal Raleigh.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Big Dumper used to play here.
The Big Dumper. Exactly. That's where you.
Just wait till they retire the Big Dumpers jersey. That's gonna be epic.
My last one, real quick. I want to go into college baseball again this week because, guys, Murray State just knocked off Ole Miss, and they are headed to the Super Regionals as a number 4 seed. They will face Duke in a best-of-3 with a trip to Omaha on the line. The Racers are trying to become just the 4th 4 seed ever to reach the College World Series. No 4 seed has ever won it all since the tournament went to this format in the late 90s. For context, only 1 3 seed has ever won it all. That was Oregon State back in 2023, just 2 years ago. That same year, Oral Roberts made it to Omaha as a 4 seed. A few weeks ago, Liberty pulled off a massive upset of number 1 overall seed Texas A&M in the women's softball bracket. They eventually lost in the Super Regionals, but you know what? Maybe Murray State won't. And that's what makes these tournaments, these sports so much fun. It's not just about who wins, it's about who isn't supposed to win. I'm not a Murray State fan. I don't have a Racer shirt in my closet. I just love that they're still standing. Nobody expected it. Nobody picked them. And that's exactly why I'm rooting for them. It's why we watch the long shots, the bracket busters, the teams that walk in with zero expectations and they mess up everyone else's plans. So let's go, Racers. Keep messing things up, boys. Keep messing things up. All right, well, now it's time to get into our Stone Cold Locks segment where Bill and Scotty are not messing things up at all recently. We are about to head north of the border to the RBC Canadian. Scotty's taking a week off to rest from his 3 wins in May and to get ready for next week's U.S. Open. But this field still has some decent names in it. Should be a fun one to watch as golfers tune up for Oakmont. Before we get into it, though, let's see how we did last week. Scotty got Bill another 3 points, and nobody else got any points. So our standings
Cantley was in
so
fifth
close.
place.
So close.
He was so close.
2 holes to play.
Yeah.
I know.
And he just shit the bed on
He
the
mailed
last
it
2
in.
holes. It's like,
He absolutely mailed it in at the end.
He did, dude.
Yeah.
He did. I was thinking about that. Bill and I are tied with 14 points. Pat, you have 13. So we are.
I can pick Rory.
Right
I can
there.
pick Rory this week.
Well, I thought the only time you couldn't, or the only restriction was Scotty, right? So
Scotty's the only restriction.
Just personally, my own.
You just don't want to take.
I don't want to pick. I don't want to pick the big guy.
No standards over here.
No.
Yeah.
All right, and you know what? Just because I'm kind of tired of Pat whining and being a big.
I am too.
About all this.
So
you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do for the our golf contest, which we're just doing for fun. I'm going to step up and put some skin in the game here, all right? If I come in last place, which, come on, look who I'm going against. But if I come in last place, I will freaking don Ohio State gear for one pod episode.
Wow. Okay.
And no, I'm not going to cry about it. Oh, I don't have any Ohio State gear. No, I'm going to fucking man up and do it, all right?
When is this over? When is this thing over? Are we going through the Tour Championship?
The golf's going through... I think we said we'll go through before the FedEx starts. So whatever the last tournament is.
Okay. I think it'd be like the St. Jude then, or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's St. Jude. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I think that's right.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Hit us with Rory, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah. No, just a reminder real quick. We'll pick 3 players total. 2 can be any players you want. Third's got to be a dark horse with plus 10,000 odds or more. All right, Pat, who you got?
All right, give me my Irish twins, Shane Lowry and Rory.
All right.
Gonna go with those 2 boys. And then my long shot, Matt Kuchar at plus 12,000.
Wow.
I think, just so you know, Pat, I think I saw he withdrew. But of course,
I already wrote down.
I don't know if he did or not. I thought somebody had said
all right, fine. Ryo Hisatsune. What's his?
I don't even think he's a long shot. I don't think he is.
No, he's not a long shot.
No, he's up there near the top. Take Cooch,
right,
and then we'll work it out.
I got it. Hold on. Give me 20 seconds.
Somebody asked.
Well, why don't you pick yours and then we'll come back to Pat.
Hold on. He withdrew. He did withdraw.
Matt McCarty.
Okay.
All right.
Nice. I'm just, I'm trying to keep this a fair game and not have picking guys that withdrew. So love those 2 picks. I wanted to take Rory and Shane as well. I was just like, all right, I've been taking chalk for weeks, so I'm gonna go a little bit off the grid and not do it this week. And I'm gonna take Canadians. It was in the mix, and in my Crush and Fade article, ring the bell, ding ding. That one, I did take some Canadians in that as well. So my pick is Taylor Pendrith. He's my first pick. I really love his game this week. I think in Crush and Fade I took Corey Connors, but I'm gonna go a little bit off that, and with this picks in this one, and go. My second pick is Robert McIntyre, the Scot, and then my long shot is a guy who I thought this was pretty cool. You guys saw the longest day. It's like the U.S. Open qualifying that happens on Monday of this week. Somehow now this has become a thing. Have you guys seen this? Longest day. It was coverage the entire day on Golf Channel.
No.
Yeah, it's like the NFL draft. All of a sudden now it's like, let's make this some sort of thing that we can just produce around and make a big deal out of. It's pretty cool stories though. And Eric Van Rooyen won his sectional qualifier. He shot the course record just north of you, Bierman, at Kinsale. It says it's north of Columbus. So he shot a 64, tied the course record in his first 18 holes, then backed that up with a -5 to finish -13.
Nice.
He won his sectional by 6 shots. So I'm saying Eric Van Rooyen, the South African, he's going to be riding high, good vibes after his U.S. Open qualification. Give me Eric Van Rooyen top 10 this week at the RBC Canadian.
Nice. Nice. Well, I'm also going with a little Canadian theme here, and I am going with Corey Connors,
Yeah.
the best Canadian
I love it.
golfer going these days. He finished sixth here last year. He's been having a great year. 5 top 10s, 11 total strokes gained. Great in driving accuracy, very good at ball striking. He's made 12 consecutive cuts, so I'm really liking me some Corey Connors. For my second, I'm going with Mackenzie Hughes.
Yeah.
He finished 7th here last year. He's freaking Canadian. He's made 3 top 10s this year. And did I mention he's Canadian? And for my dark horse, I gotta go. Guys, there are only 2 things you know about this guy to put your money on him, okay? 1, he's Canadian. And 2, his name is fucking Cougar Collins. That's all you need to know. Cougar fucking Collins is this guy's name. He's plus 250,000 to win, dude. He's plus 25,000 for top 5, plus 9,000 to top 10.
Get some money on that guy.
Cougar Collins might be the greatest sports name I've ever heard.
That's fantastic.
I fucking love Cougar Collins.
You love Cougar.
That's where we're
I'm
going.
surprised you guys gave no Canadian love to Nick Taylor.
Yeah.
Guy who
He's
won it a
on
couple years
my
ago.
Yeah, Husky.
Jarred that 70-some footer for the victory.
Yeah. That was a
Right?
cool
Wasn't
moment.
that this
That's
tournament?
what remember because Adam Hadwin ran out to congratulate him on the green and the security guard
Got
tackled him.
Yeah.
He had champagne
awesome.
and he was coming out to celebrate with Nick, and the security guard just planted his ass right on the green.
That's great.
Yeah, classic moment. Yeah, they're playing at a new golf course this time, TPC Toronto. I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun. Should be a fun tournament.
All right, guys. Well, now it is time to go into our top 5. And a few days ago, I was talking to someone who said they loved a particular movie. And I was like, are you kidding me? That movie freaking blows. So it got me thinking, what are some movies that everyone else seems to love and adore that you just cannot stand? So that's our top 5. Least favorite movies that other people seem to love, or your least favorite popular movies, however you want to think about it. But the one I'm referring to is on my list, so I'll share what this idiot said was so great in just a few minutes. But these can be any movies, any time period, any genre. It just has to be agreed that this particular movie is universally beloved by most. So, all right, Pat, start us off. 5, 4. And guys, just beware. I am feeling a little saucy.
I was gonna say, should we clear the decks for Bierman, Pat?
Yeah.
I'm ready for these rants.
No, I'm ready as well. But
okay,
look,
let's go.
I have no order on these. These are just ones that I think are just dumb. And my first one I'm going to go with. The first one that I thought of was Deadpool. I mean, it's been a few years, so I don't remember much, which means that very little of that movie stuck with me. I don't like the overly done violence. And drawn out fight scenes. I remember feeling that the humor was a little too crude. Like it was almost like, how many dick and butt jokes do you have to suffer through? I mean, perverse humor. It's just,
Ryan Reynolds.
It lacks creativity.
It is.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about that one, Pat. It's not on my list, but I'm with you.
Yeah, it lacks creativity. I like Van Wilder. Don't get me wrong. It is most of his films, but this one was a big miss. So,
yeah.
I refer to him. I just call him Van Wilder. But what's his name?
I know
Reynolds.
this movie won't be on anyone's list because it's nobody likes this movie. But can I just tell you one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life is with him in it, Ryan Reynolds.
Van
Wilder. I love Ryan Reynolds. No, although it has not aged that good, but it was active. I just watched that within the last year probably. It was pretty funny. No, it's a movie called Buried. Have you ever seen this or heard?
No.
The entire movie, guys, takes place with him in a coffin. He is buried in the Middle East or something. Somebody I think he was in but he has a phone, and so he has some interactions with some people on the phone.
Bizarre.
Oh, it is so bad, dude. It is so bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Second one, give me Jurassic Park.
Oh,
it was not for me. I wasn't a dinosaur kid. No, I didn't grow up. I didn't have toy dinosaurs. My bed sheets and footy pajamas were not dinosaur themed. So they're ugly looking creatures. So I'm actually glad they aren't here anymore. You know,
Fair point.
Yeah.
Isn't the
So I'm out on the
CGI
Jurassic Park?
CGI just does not hold up either in that, right? I mean, I
But
haven't watched that
even
movie.
at the time, like
Was
at
it
the
terrible?
time when it came out, I was never like, oh, I want to go see Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
It just wasn't for me.
How many have they made now?
Deadpool, Jurassic Park.
Oh gosh, probably
And
7
the new
or
one,
8.
they have a new one now too, and
that's a
wanna
guess.
go
I
see
don't
it.
know.
Yeah. I think
I don't think I've seen any since. I think I saw the first 2. I actually liked the first one, but I understand. Yeah, I haven't seen many. Yeah, I gotcha.
all right, am I up?
Yeah.
I think I should caveat my list by just saying I don't want you guys to actually think less of me after I have these, because I think you two are more in line with your taste
Bill,
in movies.
I can't think any more less of you than I do already.
I
So
know.
just
That's
fire
good.
away.
I've already set the bar so low that even this top 5 list will not change your opinion of me. So that's good.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
My number 5, this is not one I'm referring to with that caveat, but it's the movie Pearl Harbor. I don't know if you guys ever saw it. I love war movies.
That's a terrible movie.
Terrible movie. Terrible. I mean, Pearl Harbor, of all the epic events that changed the course of a country's history, this is what you put out for it? It's awful.
Yeah. They should remake, not that movie, but they should make a movie about Pearl Harbor, because you could make it really good.
Make something
And
good.
That was not
like Saving Private Ryan. Do a Saving Private Ryan, but
it was the love story that threw it off, right?
The love story, like the triangle love story.
The love triangle.
It was horrible. That's a good one, Bill. Yeah,
horrible. Okay, all right. So it's just a bad movie. So that's my number 5. Number 4. I'm going with a franchise, although I have to be honest with you guys, I don't know if I've ever even seen the entire first movie. So that is all of the Fast and Furious movies. Just awful.
Yeah.
They're just not they're not good. There's nothing entertaining. To me, there's nothing entertaining about these movies, and it's such a popular franchise. Street racing, hijackers, blah blah blah, whatever. Yeah, it's just so I'm lumping all those into one. Fast and Furious is my number 4. Darren?
My ex-neighbor was a big car guy, and he loved us. He was a big car guy. I think he got to be like a big muscle car guy.
I've watched the first one, and I haven't seen any since.
Yeah, I probably watch little bits and pieces on TBS or whatever when it shows somewhere, but I will say rest in peace to Paul Walker. That guy just seemed like a cool dude.
He was good. Yeah.
So that's a bummer, but yeah, the series blows.
Yeah. All right. So for my number 5, my kids and my family, when they listen to this, they know that this one is coming, because I absolutely cannot stand this movie, despite most people my age loving it, since it came out when we were kids. And I think I briefly ranted about this one on this pod too, but I'm not 100% sure. I absolutely despise the Goonies. From the awful mother figure to the stupid Kronk guy or whatever his frickin' name was, and the dumb kids,
Chunk.
Data Chunk.
Sloth. Sloth is the ugly guy.
Oh yeah, Sloth was
Chunk's the fat guy.
Yeah. I mean, even the seaside town of Astoria, which is supposed to be charming, and it actually is, I think, in some other movies that city's been in. It bothers me in that movie. My kids once watched this movie at their grandparents' house, and they got mad at me afterwards, saying it was so bad. And I was like, yeah, I know. Why did you watch it? And they claimed that I told them that they would like it. Let's be clear. I would never tell any rational person in this world that they would like Goonies, because I honestly don't know how that is freaking possible. Awful movie. All right, number 4. This movie came out when I was class.
That was his number 5. I was 5. That was his number 5 too. We're getting better.
This movie came out when I was 5, and it was a cultural phenomenon. I had all the action figures, guys, including a pretty cool Millennium Falcon replica. I just can never get into the Star Wars franchise. I've tried many times with all 3 of my kids. Actually, I sit down, try and watch these movies. This is actually different than Goonies and some others on this list. I actually want to like these movies, but I just get bored. I don't find the characters or the plots that interesting. And I love Harrison Ford in most movies, but he actually annoys me as Han Solo. So yeah, I'm a go now. Take Star Wars, take your lightsabers and your Force, and just leave me alone. So. All right, Pat.
The Force, number one. First of all, the Force is not strong with you, and Goonies was a classic, so agree to disagree. I went with Say Hello to My Little Friend. Scarface, right? Yeah, I mean, it was okay. Michelle Pfeiffer was at least in it, but overall, I didn't think much of it when I went and watched it. I was like, oh, you got to watch Scarface.
I'm with you.
I mean, now all the wannabe gangsters and rappers idolize Scarface. You see like Scarface tattoos and like Scarface this and that, and it's just like, I don't know. Pacino's Cuban accent was like a mouthful of marbles, and I hate to say anything bad about the guy because his work in The Godfather was so legendary, but Scarface was just okay. It's not as good as it's built up to be. So that is my number 3. Number 2, this might be an unpopular opinion, but The Blues Brothers. I wanted to like it more, but it didn't really hit. It really didn't hit for me. Some funny things, but I always surprised at how many people gushed about that movie. I watched it and I was like, we're on a mission from God, and it's a couple good ones in there, but overall, like, didn't do it for me.
Wow.
No complaints here.
3 and 2.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. This one I think might be my most controversial. Maybe my number 1, but my number 3 is Ocean's 11.
Oh, wow. That is interesting. I like that.
I love the Ocean's 11s.
So this movie to me gets all the hype because of the cast, right? The cast was awesome. I mean, there's tons of great actors in it. I'm not going to complain about the cast, but I love heist movies. And in terms of all the heist movies, this is not a good heist movie. It's not even really that entertaining. Or I just don't get it. And then they've gone on to make how many 12, 13, the one with all the women. I mean, they've got, it's like a zillion times. Let's go recreate this thing. I'd rather watch The Town or Den of Thieves or even the new Den of Thieves, which wasn't really that well received. And I thought it was entertaining. I mean, just give me so many other heist movies ahead of this one. So Ocean's 11 was my number 3. My number 2, this one actually might be controversial as well. Superbad. Have you guys seen it?
That's a great film.
Wow. Yeah, dude. I can get behind Pat's choices. I'm not sure
I just didn't get it.
Superman is so funny.
Here's my take. It's super popular movie, right? This is a very popular movie. It's just not that funny. And it's just not that poignant. It's like, okay, we got a high school, like, coming of age, 2 seniors want to get laid. McLovin, not even funny, his character. The whole thing is just like, I mean, Jonah Hill's been in a zillion other movies that are better than this. Is it Michael Cera? Who's that? I can't even think of who the other kid was. Michael Cera.
Yeah, Michael Cera.
It's just not... It's just I just didn't think it was that. I didn't think it was that great. Superbad's my number 2.
I'm laughing just thinking back on some of the funny stuff with Superbad. I thought it was great.
I don't know.
All right, guys. So my number 3 is the number 1 grossing movie of all time. Do you guys have any idea what's this? No. The number 1 grossing movie of all time is Avatar.
Oh.
And I just do not get this movie. Blue-faced aliens, heroes that are idiots, an asinine plot. I will give you, the visuals were kind of cool for about 10 minutes, but this movie sucks and I will never watch it again. All right, number 2. So this is my only sports movie on the list, and I think this is going to be pretty controversial.
I'm not guessing.
Baseball.
It's okay. Go
Baseball.
ahead.
Baseball.
This is not be my guess.
While I can acknowledge why people like it,
Field of Dreams.
And just come on,
just don't say this one. I think you're gonna say
it's Costner in a sports movie, which typically you can't go wrong with. I just have never been able to get into Bull Durham. Not my thing. First of all, Susan Sarandon as a love interest. Oh God, there are about a bazillion. I'd rather be with. I'm not even gonna say it. I just take Susan Sarandon, please take her far away.
If
from
they
me.
redid it with
And-
Sydney Sweeney, would you watch it?
Yes. Yes. Now you're talking. You're talking. And even like Tim Robbins, who I really
He was
like.
great
I
in
think
that.
he's a great
Yeah, he
actor.
was
Nuke.
Nuke
Nuke.
Lelouch is just no. He's not that likable in that movie. The ending, it just falls flat to me. Oh, Costner is great. I will get Costner's great. He's likable. But, and I guess if you forced me to watch it, I mean, I'd rather watch that than The Goonies. But I mean, it's just such a popular sports movie. I see it on all these greatest sports movies of all time lists, and it's just no, not for me. All right,
Dude, number one with a bullet is Monty Python. Like, I've always thought
God, that's a good one.
This was
good
a
one.
comedy
See,
for
Bill,
the nerd.
See, this is the difference.
This is great because I did.
I'm with you,
I always thought it was
I'm
like
with
a
you.
comedy for the nerdy kids in school, the Dungeons and Dragon dorks, the no ass getting acne faced bedwetting little bitches. You got
classic.
This is Bill. They're terrible. I made it through like 10 minutes of one movie before I never watched one again. The soldier that gets every limb cut off. Fucking stupid.
Oh,
Come on.
Dude, I hate that. Yeah.
How dumb, dude? It's the dumbest.
Are you talking about
movies.
Holy Grail or just
Any
like,
of them? Any of them? They're just dumb.
Oh my God.
Not funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, agree to disagree. Monty Python's like you're.
Yeah.
I mean, because people who are fans are diehard. Like they love them. Oh, they're so great.
Yeah.
It's like I couldn't even get past 10 minutes of one.
It's interesting. I don't know how rewatchable it would be. That's a great point. Or like if you had to watch all of them back to back, like that might be a little rough. Like it's, because anyway, but I love John Cleese. I think he's absolutely hilarious. So,
Yeah.
my number one, again, is a franchise, and I'm lumping all of these in. In fact, I think it might be two franchises because I don't even know how it works because it's so stupid. I never pay attention to it. My family loves all the movies. They always want to go. And now that's all the freaking things. That's all we put out is DC or Marvel movies. And they all suck so bad.
Yes.
I mean, oh no, you got to watch Iron Man. Oh no, you got to watch Deadpool, Ant-Man. Black Panther was so good. No, they all suck.
Ant-Man was good.
So
Yeah, I
bad.
liked Ant-Man.
I'm with you, Bill.
Iron
I
Man
thought
was
about
good,
doing the
too.
exact same thing. Iron Man was good. And that was it.
Ant-Man was good
Seriously.
too.
The rest have been,
Yeah, that's my number one. Every single comic book movie.
all of them, all 60 of them.
Yeah, all 600 of them. That's all there is now. Oh, it's brutal. Anyway,
Yeah. No,
my number
I'm with
one.
you. All right, guys. So this is my number one. Is the one that someone told me is one of the 10 best movies he's ever seen, and I've heard that sentiment before.
Is it Top Gun Maverick? I forgot about Top Gun Maverick. Oh,
I love Top Gun Maverick.
50 Shades of Grey.
And Die Hard.
So-
Die Hard. Dang it.
Oh, shut
Okay.
up! Shut the fuck up. No, I do think this one could get a reaction because a lot of people like this movie. And again, I really do like Harrison Ford in most movies,
no,
but I just
don't.
realized he is in two of my top 5 here. I have to go with Raiders of the Lost Ark.
God. What?
I do not like this movie, and it's similar in the sense I don't have this hatred like I do with Goonies or Avatar, but I've tried to sit down and watch this movie a few times because I want to like it.
Dr. Jones.
And it's just it can't happen. I mean, for
That one sucked.
and I'm not even
Temple of
guys.
Doom,
I'm not
terrible.
even going to belabor the point that has started to popularize in recent years due to something that was brought up on the Big Bang Theory. I don't know if you
what's
guys
this?
heard this. So that and there is some merit to it actually, but that Indiana Jones is the character is completely irrelevant to the plot of the movie, and nothing would have been different had he not gone on this journey. Meaning, if you watch the movie, he doesn't do anything to change anything. He doesn't save the day. Nothing he does. He doesn't save like people. You could argue in the bar fight with Marion that him being there perhaps saved her life, but
He finds the
for the
art.
most part, like, no, he doesn't.
Doesn't he?
No, he doesn't.
Am I misremembering it?
No.
I thought they stole it from him after he found it.
No, I don't know, because I've not watched the movie in a long time, but he definitely, if you watch it, there's a lot of people that say he's irrelevant to it. I'm not here to debate that because it is debatable. So maybe they'll, there's something to that. But for an action movie, I'm just never on the edge of my seat interested. There's some chases, there's some tense moments, but the bar fight, the snakes, the propeller killing the ball guy, the end where the guy's face melts off, it's just none of it makes me say, wow, that's a great movie. So, I will admit, I do like the opening. And I love the scene where the guy like wields the sword, swashbuckles for a few seconds, and then Indy just grabs his gun and shoots him. But other than that,
do you know the backstory on that?
For somebody to have the gall to look me in the eye and tell me that is one of the best movies of all time, I had to be restrained. I'm like, do you want to go right now?
Oh.
Now, what's the backstory on that, Pat?
So, like, Harrison Ford was ill. Like, they were filming on scene, and they were trying to do all these takes, and he was really sick. And they were supposed to be this long, drawn-out fight scene. And eventually, they were just like, I'm just going to take a gun out and shoot him. So they didn't have to film it, and he could go rest for the next day.
And they kept it in there. Yeah, so good.
And they kept it in there.
That's fantastic.
It's funny how many of your movies, guys, that I disagree and actually love.
Yeah,
I would say
this might be our biggest difference
that I like
of top fives the entire time.
It's can't get into it. And you know what? I used to. The second one is horrible.
Oh, terrible.
I actually used to think the Last Crusade one with Sean Connery was like okay, like I remembered fondly. Tried to watch that a couple years ago and turned that off like 3/4 of the way in. I was like, this is just it's not good either. So
not as rewatchable as I remember it either.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Well, gents, that felt really good. So I appreciate the ability to rant and rave every once in a while on these episodes. Very therapeutic for me. So appreciate that. But before we wrap things up, Bill, what do we have on the pool side of things?
As you guys know, we already talked about it earlier in Stone Cold Locks, but next week actually is the U.S. Open at Oakmont, and we've got tons of stuff. So as you're listening to this, watching this,
we do.
Go check out all the different options that we have available. Everything's already up. The fields won't be official until Sunday probably, so you won't be able to make picks, but you can go register. But I also just want to tease a couple of things that are coming that I could not be more excited about. And I'm just going to say, email us at info@entersandmansports.com if you're interested in ever maybe making a side wager. If that interests you at all, hit us up, because we've got something coming and it's been in my mind's eye for a long time. So to see it start to come to life
with no juice too.
No juice. Yeah. No juice. And we're going to have a spot for people to come in and banter about sports, about topics, about maybe it's about movies that they think are terrible that other people love. It's really what we're trying to build here.
How do I log in?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think you already have access, buddy. But it's just, we've been trying to create this, and I think Eric tends to even sell this a little bit on the content side of what we're doing. If you guys have not gone and looked at our website lately, go check it out. It looks so good, and there's so many cool articles, interesting articles, different ways that we're approaching things like the Fringe. I still really enjoy reading Six Pack. Eric, we never talked about your vanity license plates thing. I thought that was going to come up for sure.
Oh no, well,
but anyway, just go check it out, you guys. Please do us the favor. If you're listening to this and you've not gone to the website in a little bit, go check it out. Eric has been doing such a good job on it. Props to Craig Phelan, our guy who's behind the scenes doing all the work as well. But we
gotta get him on. Yeah,
Craig's got to get out.
Craig, we're getting you on, buddy.
Yeah.
Come on.
But the other thing I was going to say is just around our idea of creating this community for people. It's long been something that Eric and I have wanted to do. This podcast is a piece of it. right? Pat's taking part in this. We've got the St. Louis Syndicate guys that are doing other types of things around football season. But just having a place that people want to come in and just banter back and forth with people, like have that be sort of a virtual meeting space for people. So we're working on trying to get this developed, and we hope that you guys will attach to it and have a good time with it. Side Wagers is just something that I think is going to be really fun. So
I remember when you first told me this, Bill, this idea a long time ago, but it was, I immediately went to just guys sitting, like on my back
yeah,
porch,
fire
having
pit.
a fire pit, which you and I did, sitting there having some drinks, talking about sports. Somebody says something, you say, "Hell, I'll take the Tigers. You want to bet 100? Fine, let's do it." And like that's what I think of, is just guys sitting around having some drinks, talking smack, maybe placing a bet. So yeah, dude, it's an awesome idea, and I was really excited when I saw the text from you and Craig saying that it was going live.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's really exciting. So can't wait for you
Yeah.
guys to check it out.
Yeah. No, so seriously, guys, if you want to learn more about the forum, I know we didn't get in all the details. Just email us at info@nrcmansports.com and we'll get back with you. Awesome, Bill. Thank you, man. Well, Bill, Pat, as always, so much fun to hang out with you for an hour and do this each week. Wish we could keep on chatting tonight, but sadly, it is time to exit. Sandman Sports, Sandman Nation, thanks for tuning in again. Please be sure to check us out, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all at Enter Sandman Sports, and our website, entersandmansports.com. Have a wonderful weekend, Sandman Nation. Peace out and take care.
Good luck, everybody.